What's good? What's good, people? This your boy Scott Lewis, Apartment Gamer and more. What's good? Here with John. Everything but BK Net. What's up, John?
Hey Scott, welcome back to town. You missed a crazy day yesterday.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like in vacation mode.
Good, you're the
I
only
have.
one.
I had a good time though. Yeah, it was good to get out of the city for a while.
Good.
Other than that, the news never stopped though. Do it.
Nope. And yesterday's news was what not a lot of people wanted. We
What?
good?
Yeah, you back in. Go
All
ahead.
right. Yeah, definitely not the news not a lot of people wanted to hear. Cam Thomas, he decided to take the $6 million qualifying offer. Apparently, the news that was released was that the Nets organization and Cam's agents had a few meetings. They had over several potential deals. The ones that stood out were the first one was the 28 mil, which would be 14 million this year, with probably a team option the following. The other two deals that came out were a 2 year, $30 million contract, so the money bumped up to a million to 15 million, and with probably a team option the second year, which I thought Cam would eventually take because that's actually not a bad deal considering the fact that Sean's probably not going any higher than that, but he didn't want that. The other deal I thought was pretty embarrassing. They wanted to give him a $9 million deal with incentives that could equate 11 million if he met those this season. I didn't really like that one, but ultimately Cam thought that the 30 mil was not too.
We lost John again.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. He wanted $30 million salary instead. That's what he got as a contract, and he thought he was worth more than that. And ultimately, this is where we find ourselves. At the end of the day, this relationship between Cam Thomas and Sean Marks has been on shaky ground for 4+ years. Cam never had a defined role. He had to work for any minutes he got. When the big three thing crashed and burned, he wanted to take his opportunity to have those big three 40 point performances. And then the coaching staff decided to bench him because they wanted to see playmaking and him not just being a scorer. And then fast forward the last 2 years, he has been a starter of sorts, but unfortunately he's been injured throughout those minutes he's played. And we've seen small spurts with the playmaking getting a little better. The rebounding's been okay. The scoring has been more efficient, especially last year. Under the 25 games majority is probably his best efficiency since he's came into the league. But again, that was supposed to be his prove it year, and he only played 25 games due to injuries. So that really played a huge factor in why his market was so bad, and no other team had cap space except the Nets. But ultimately, the Brooklyn organization just felt that Cam is not a superstar or a star player. Maybe a third option or a six man is what they could have envisioned him as. But ultimately, Cam doesn't want that type of money. He wants a 30 to 40, hell, I think he even wants a $50 million salary to be a star on this team. But unfortunately, we're in a rebuild. We just drafted five young guys, and him taking the $6 million was the worst case scenario possible because now you have a disgruntled young player that could walk for nothing next year. Now he has a no trade clause. He could basically say, I don't want to go anywhere you want to send me. And you can basically screw over this organization now, which you don't want. But at the same time, Sean Marks, you did this to yourself. You've had stars that don't want to play for you. You have role players that want to.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, we good. We good. We good. Yeah, you have Sean Marks has had superstars that don't want to play for him, role players that want to pay for him, and now up and comers like Cam don't want to play for him. So at the end of the day, both Sean and Cam dropped the ball here in negotiations. But also Cam Thomas for leaving 30 million on the table. It's a huge gamble. I think it's naive and foolish because there's no guarantee the 10 teams that have cast this next year are going to give anything more than an 18 to 19 salary for maybe 3 or 4 years, something like that. So he's not going to get no 25 like he thinks he's going to get. And now taking the 6 million qualifying offer, the organization could choose to bench him, cut his minutes, and just put him on the wait list till they find a team they might want to trade him to and hope he waives his no trade clause. But that just makes his value even worse. So if I'm looking at this strategically, is it in the best interest of the Nets to bring Cam into training camp, hell, media day, when we already know he's a disgruntled young player right now? Like, I'll be honest with you, Scott, this could be mad awkward if Cam goes. Scott, you there?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, John.
Scott, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, yeah, like John was saying though, that he's in a position where the organization is going to lose a lot. So, I mean, I was surprised. I thought he would take the offer of the 3 million or four. I mean, 14 to 15 million a year. I mean, to take the team option gives him the power, but you're putting a lot into this season to see if you can generate that money. And I was looking at what Quest One was saying. Cam did what was best for him, uh, same as the organization is trying to do, which is true. I mean, there was nobody else out there, and he was stuck in a situation where basically he was at the mercy of the team. So, I mean, for him to take the qualifying offer is betting on himself, and you know how I feel about Cam Thomas. Um, I think he's a good player, man. So he, if they give him the opportunity to show, they have nothing to gain out of him having a great season because they're going to lose him for sure. And a team will pick him up and pay him over $20 million, which is probably possible. It's probably better for him anyway. I mean, it would be nice if he stayed. Yeah, my personal thing is he could make a he would make a good piece on a team that has aspirations of making a run. But where's this medium going to be at as far as money is concerned? Because players actually been taking pay cuts to get people on their team. So I'm not asking Cam to take a pay cut, but he's got to fit. And everybody wants to stay out of that second apron and stay as flexible as they can, especially a team that's not already in the hunt for a championship. So, I mean, what was the Nets supposed to do? That's the question I come up with is what was they supposed to do? You know? So I don't I think the Nets did personally speaking, I think the Nets did what a person in position to do, but you know, Cam needed to swallow his pride a little bit and just go out there and play.
Hey, Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, just to finish up what I was saying before, yeah, it's an awkward situation right now with Cam taking the 6 million because now the organization could just bench him, not play him, and even Nets Daily said they're probably not going to showcase him much this year. So it's an awkward situation. I wonder if he could get traded before training camp and media day because it's just going to be a lot of awkward, toxic, messy tension between both sides, and it already feels like the damage has been done. Sean Marks has proven what a horrible negotiator he is, how much he undervalues Cam, and Cam has shown he wants to get the hell out of Brooklyn. I mean, you leave $30 million on the table, there's no other way of saying bon voyage. So I feel like if they're going to end this divorce quick, get a trade done before training camp. I know this market for Cam, the trade market is really small right now, but do we really want to bring him to the regular season knowing he's going to be disgruntled, knowing he's going to be thinking about himself and his contract next year where the team wants to tank for a top pick? Like, it just feels like the damage and the mess has been done already. So maybe a trade happens the next few weeks before training camp media day. We'll see. But man, it will be mad awkward if he goes into media day and the media asking him if he's okay with the situation with Marks. Obviously, he's not. So it'll be interesting to see how that all unfolds. But yeah, this was just a mess, Scott. Nobody won
Yeah.
this. John
I,
Marks is. But you go, Scott. You go.
yeah. Definitely nobody won this. You know how I feel about Cam. I'm personally a fan of his play style, so I'm disappointed. I don't think that was the best move as far as leaving money on the table. I don't believe you should leave money on the table. I really don't. I mean, I could understand that he feels he's worth more, and he probably is, but that's not the point. The point is Nobody else has any money out there to go into the second apron and be stuck without being able to be flexible. So, there ain't no team going to do that. I don't think it's just a money thing. Not to mention that you got players in the league that actually take pay cuts to get their team to where they at now.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a difficult situation. It's a different NBA. It's not the same NBA as we know. People get rewarded for scoring 20 something points a game per, in the season or whatever. So I don't know what to make of it, but I do know this. The Nets don't have the leverage once he starts playing.
Right.
If he starts playing well, they don't have the leverage to actually deal with him. So that's the point I'm trying to make is they won't have that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I could tell you one thing: it's not going to be good, and they can actually lose him, like you said, for nothing, which is crazy, which is really crazy. Then, so who on our team is worthy of replacing him? That's the question. Who on our team is a guaranteed bucket? So I don't see anybody really. To be honest with you, I don't see it. I don't see anybody on this team that's worthy of that.
No, listen, you're not wrong. At the end of the day, I look at who we drafted. I think you might have a good starter with one of these five guys, Yegor. I'd set the bar for him. You might have a six man in Nolan. You might have a few rotation bench pieces, but you don't have a superstar on this team. These guys each have deficiencies that don't make them star players at the moment. Obviously, they're very young, of course. They have a lot of room to grow, which is fine. But next year's draft really is make or break after this Cam Thomas stuff. Like, you got to get a top franchise guy in next year's draft, or those picks you gave away to the Rockets, which they still hold a lot of them, was one of the most egregious trades ever. I'll put it right up there with us giving the Boston Celtics Tatum and Brown for nothing essentially. So this really, after this Cam Thomas situation, you basically are starting from pure scratch. You have no superstar, you have no secondary or third guy. It could have been Cam, but just not enough time to really develop that chemistry. And obviously, the relationship between Cam and the front office is beyond fractured. So yeah, like they just got to figure out a way to get Cam to a new team and start fresh. Because, like you said, Scott, once Jordy puts him in there as the starter, unless he
Yeah, but the question is, the question really is, John. The question to me is, what you going to get for him now? You're not getting nothing. You're going to give him away for pennies on the dollar. Literally. Literally pennies on the dollar. That's what you're going to get for Cam Thomas. Pennies on the dollar. So I don't see it. I just don't see what we can get for him. It could be me, but I just don't see it. What you going to get for Cam Thomas now? Nothing. Nothing. Somebody's going to give you what, a second round, third round pick? What they going to give you? They're not giving you a first round pick. Ain't no team giving up a first round pick next year, especially the top 15 in the draft or potential draft picks or teams that have aspiration to get into the top 10. They ain't giving up that. That's for sure. They're not giving up that for Cam Thomas. He makes a good piece on a good team. How many teams in the NBA is worthy of utilizing Cam Thomas gifts, as I call it? Because he's a gifted player for sure. I would love for him to stay in Brooklyn, but that might not even happen. That might even that might not even happen now. So it's a terrible situation. And yes, Sean probably dropped the ball or whatever the case may be, but right now Cam is not in a position to make it happen, and he has to take the qualifying offer, which will force the team to almost give him up for nothing.
Right, and that's the sad thing about this. Like, what are you really going to get? I don't think you're getting any top first round unprotected picks. Maybe there's a team that's super desperate. They'll give you a protected pick, but that's about it. I don't think any team is willing to give up full on unprotected picks for a disgruntled young player that thinks he's a star player already when other teams don't value him like that. So you're going to have to hope you can get what you can get. Like, you look at a team like the Pacers.
John's having problems, so he's back. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, Scott, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, like you could look at a team like the Pacers, maybe a Jerice Walker in a second round pick. Look at the Lakers, maybe a Dalton Connect in a second round pick. The Bucks, maybe they'll give you one of the last remaining picks and a player making the equivalent of $6 million. Like those are the deals you got to look for. I heard something about a Torrey Eason and our own pick back. No, the Rockets are not going to give up one of the most valuable young players for a disgruntled young player, even though Kevin Durant likes him. Like we got to get realistic with what you could get for Cam Thomas.
Yeah, but realistically, that would work.
Which one? Which
The
deal?
Detroit
The
or
Jaden
the
Ivey deal.
I mean, if Kevin Durant is going to be there, right?
Well, the Rockets. That's the Rockets. That's the Rockets for Torrey.
Oh, okay. Well, the one with the Rockets, yeah. I mean, that would work with Kevin Durant.
It would work, but getting your own pick back for Cam Thomas is a pipe dream just because of the fact he's a disgruntled young player, and I don't think the Rockets are going to give him any long term money because they already have Kevin Durant making a decent chunk of cheddar, and then you have your young guys you got to pay. I don't think that that would work long term. Unless the Rockets really want to win this year, then okay, maybe it's 5% possible, but I don't see it being full on possible. I just look at deals like for Jerice Walker, Dalton Connect being more substantial just because that's what a team would be willing to give up for a young player like Cam Thomas. Like you said, Scott, you're not getting anything crazy back for Cam Thomas. You might be lucky to get a young player back for Cam Thomas. If that, you gotta do your best with what you're given at this point with Cam's value, and it's not very good, is what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah,
you
well,
gotta
wherever he go, they they getting him really cheap.
right. Right, and that's the gamble Sean Marks is taking. Like you got to hope that Cam goes somewhere, and he's just a sixth man that gives you decent scoring numbers, but he's not a huge piece to win that to help propel a team towards the title. If that's the case, then Sean, you really screwed this up. And Scott, can I just say this to you about Sean Marks? He's been the GM of this team for 10 years. In a rebuild setting, he couldn't re-sign Cam Thomas to a new deal. How embarrassing is that for a guy who's been at the helm of a team for 10 years? You're not competing for a title. You're not competing for a playoff or play-in spot. You're in a rebuild, and you couldn't negotiate a deal with Cam Thomas. That's
Well,
embarrassing.
I don't think they really wanted Cam Thomas. I don't think they saw the future with him on the team. To be honest, I didn't see that. I didn't see the future with that. So to me, it seemed like it's not just Cam Thomas. I think the team, the Nets, did not see him as a future on the team. So it ain't it like you said. It does fall on Cam, but it falls on the Nets organization as well. You know, they saw a player that can produce, but doesn't fit what the coach want. And I don't think it's just Sean Marks. I think it's also Jordy. I think Jordy didn't see a future of Cam Thomas on the team. How about that one? That is a legitimate question. Did Jordy Fernandez see Cam Thomas as a potential piece on this team? You know, what you think, John?
Motion detected at front door.
Well, John is coming in and out, so yeah, I just think that he didn't see him as a potential on his team, or he had a future on his team. Clearly, clearly he. I don't think it's just Sean, but I also think Sean didn't handle it well. I don't think Sean handled it well at all. But I don't think his agent, I don't think Cam Thomas' agents handle it well because in the middle of negotiation, you get a new agent. So,
Right.
so clearly, there was something wrong with these agents.
Everybody failed in these negotiations. The agents
Yeah,
definitely don't know what the
yeah, yeah. Clearly,
hell.
clearly,
Yeah,
clearly, clearly.
Cam doesn't have a resume, Scott. This is the thing that Cam fans have to realize. As good of a scorer as he is, what has he done in the NBA to warrant the type of money? He hasn't done anything like that. He's had some good scoring moments, the 40 points. We're all going to look back at that one day. He's had some good games here or there, but has he won any awards to put himself in the category of
Well,
being
you're
a
not.
star player?
Well, you can't blame him totally for that
Right,
because
right.
you came into a contract year, the projected year, the year before your end of your rookie contract scale. You are on a team that's in rebuild mode that gutted the team.
No, listen, that is totally 100%. The organization definitely played a huge part in Cam's market crash and burning, but at the same time, Cam has to realize that that was the cards you were given. You can't be super greedy though and say I'm just the best scorer. I'm going to get what I want. That's not how the business side of it works. As bad as Sean and Joe are at their jobs as being a GM and owner, they understand the business side of this more than Cam and his agents do. Clearly, and unfortunately, the new CBA and restricted free agency is looking like a mess right now because of all these new types of financials that are now added into the system. Like unfortunately, Cam has to realize that that 30 million might have been his best chance to re up on a better contract the following year. But you threw that away to take 6 mil, but you think one of these 10 teams next year are going to throw you the bag. That's a naive gamble. There's no guarantee. I look at the Wizards and the
No,
Lakers as two of the top
there,
teams next year with
there's no
cap space.
guarantee. There's no
Right.
guarantee in it. Yeah, I agree with you. Anything can happen. So you definitely you taking a big chance.
Huge
That,
chance.
but that to be said, his situation, I guarantee you, GMs will say, we don't know what he's worth, but if he's out there, they'll pay him. They'll pay him.
It depends
It,
what they're going to
because
pay.
I think they know he's worth it, but why would you tell the Nets? Yeah, he ain't worth it. Why?
I mean, 16, 18 mil, I think, is the high mark for him. You maybe get $20 million if a team really wants you to be their sixth man. I
So,
think that's
but
as high as a
I
team could
think
go for him in that role.
I think he wanted a longer than 2 year contract because that 2 year with the team option is telling me that you're looking to trade me.
No, definitely. I think, Scott, we talked about this, that whatever deal Cam signed, there was a high chance he would be a eventual trade chip to get a star upgrade
Right.
player. But now that might not even happen because he took the qualifying offer. Now you can't package Cam for anything at this
I
point.
know.
Unless you're
I mean,
sending him,
yeah, yeah. That's where the Nets failed. The Nets
yeah.
failed in signing him so they could showcase him to make a trade. I think he wanted a player option. That's what he wanted.
That was a huge thing that
That's
really
what
broke
he
his.
wanted. He
Yeah,
wanted the ability to say yes or no, which is
right.
cool. But you ain't going to get that on any team, and any team was going to do that, especially with a rebuild team. But it's just unfortunate that this situation happened this way. It really is. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate that he's, you know what I'm saying? That he came into a team that faltered and crashed and burned in his time while he's here.
right. I'll be
It's
honest. be honest with you, Sean Marks didn't draft Cam Thomas. It was Kevin Durant. He told him to draft him. I mean, as soon as Cam came here, he was like a little brother to Kevin Durant in a sense. Like they had good chemistry. As soon as he left, it's like Sean Marks wanted nothing to do with Cam Thomas. Let the coaches berate him, let the coaches take his minutes away, and then every time he had a chance to really put Cam over, never once did he say, I believe in Cam Thomas as a future of our team. And what he said recently was, I want our homegrown guys to feel like we can invest in them and be like, we drafted that guy to be part of our contending team of the future. But look what happened a few months later. You gave Dayron Sharp a $500,000 bonus. It's 500,000 more than what he was going to get on his contract that you agreed to 2 months ago. And for Cam, you didn't want to give him anything close to what he kind of wanted, which I totally agree with. But at the same time, you had to meet him somewhere in the middle, and it seems Cam's middle was nowhere to be found. And for Sean Marks, like I said, Scott, nobody wants to play for this guy. Like you had superstars that literally said to fire you. You had a role player who you thought was going to get you a star player, and he said, "I want to go cross the bridge, play with my Knicks buddies." And now you have Cam Thomas, an up and comer, who you couldn't even get it to agree to a contract. Like Scott, at the end of the day, we need a new GM in this front office. There is a bad pattern of players not being able to communicate effectively with Sean Marks on what the goals are of this team. And it seems like that these players get really tired of him quickly. Like, unless we ever going to be a serious team, Sean has to leave Brooklyn. I just don't see how this is ever going to work if the players don't want to invest and they're always looking to go somewhere else. Like, this is a huge problem, Scott. And Joe decides the only one who seems to really value Sean Marks. Like, let's call it what it is. Sean Marks won 2 championships with the Spurs. One was as a third stringer. The other was as an assistant coach getting Greg Popovich's coffee, and then he got promoted to a GM position, Scott. Seriously, this guy has had no serious accolades to those 2 rings. He was just there. Like, that's literally it. And now, in the last 10 years, he's proven he has some type of IQ with scouting. Some type. I don't think it's great, like crazy great, but he has some type of IQ with that. If they're going to promote this guy, let him be a head scout. But being a GM, you're responsible for the players. You're responsible for making the players feel like they can invest in this team's future. You're responsible for having a good bench, having a good coaching system. For the last 10 years, it's been a circus riot in Brooklyn. It really has. The fact you had Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and each every one of them wanted nothing to do with you. And then you had the Twins who didn't want nothing to do with you. And now you have Cam who wants nothing to do with you. Like, yeah, Sean Marks, the people that want to blame Sean Marks when I'm fired, I salute you because he has proven without a shadow of a doubt he's not built to be an effective GM. But in the same vein, Cam Thomas doesn't have the resume to warrant the money he wants. So these are really 2 different directions that could not meet in the middle here. And clearly there has to be one guy going out the door. And it looks like it's Cam, but I would be even happier if Sean Marks is following him by the end of the season because I want a new GM to. In good conscience, do not trust Sean Marks to be that guy, Scott. I really don't. Because it seems like he doesn't understand the vision. I mean, you've been a GM for 10 years and you couldn't get Cam Thomas to agree to some type of deal? This guy has been one of the worst negotiators I've seen in the NBA, Scott. And you've seen how much bad negotiations have happened underneath the Sean Marks watch. How many bad contracts he's given to players that we felt he shouldn't invest in. There were players that we felt he should have invested in that he let walk out the door. Bruce Brown, ring a bell, anybody? That he let walk
Yeah.
out the door for nothing? Like, this is Sean Mark's problem is he tries to be this good guy to make everybody feel valued, but you wind up chasing the best players off your team. And Cam is nowhere near being a great player because we haven't seen what he could do for a full season, but he definitely has potential. I'll give the Cam fans that all day. The young man has potential, but he had to play ball here a little bit to re-up on his contract next year, and he basically said, I want nothing to do with this team. I'll take my 6 mil and bounce when the season is done. Whether I'm on this team, playing off the bench, or I'm off this team by next year's deadline, Cam clearly put his line in the sand again, saying, if you don't want to pay me what I want, I'm out of here. And now it's up for Sean to trade him somewhere and get something back, even if it's a minimal asset. If you let this young man walk for nothing next year, you should walk out the door with him. I'm very sad for the Brooklyn fans that had to put up with what happened yesterday because this should not be happening in a rebuild. It shouldn't be this freaking messy. This should be the time where we're trying to get a semblance of some young core to play through what's going to be a tough ass season and build something together in this
Well,
first
I
year
think,
of
I think,
the rebuild.
I personally think, and I know a lot of people ain't saying it. I think Jordy has something to do with it.
How so? I want to hear
because,
this.
because apparently he doesn't fit what Jordy wants.
I've heard that too. And people were saying that Jordy was going to have this big say. This is why Jordy should not have had all that power last year in controlling the way this team was playing. If Sean actually had a pair, he would have traded the vets a lot sooner last year. Maybe the Nets lottery odds would have been different, but that's for another time. But yeah, I mean, Jordy has a system right now where he wants quick pace. He wants no ISO whatsoever, catch and shoot threes, defense on turnovers, and guarding multiple positions, positionless basketball. And Cam doesn't check either one of those boxes, and that's why the players that
Now,
were drafted because they have features he don't have. Some of them have height. I think all of them have some type of height factor. Some of them have defensive factors, and some Drake Powell has agility factor. All the
now the
things Cam
question
Thomas
is
doesn't have.
this. Now the
Mhm.
question is this: what team possibly can win a title without a killer on their team?
Mm.
What
And that was
team? What team have you seen? I mean, other than maybe the Spurs, we could say Tim Duncan was a killer.
yeah, definitely.
We can say Tim can get you a bucket.
I
Tim
got to
Tim will get you a bucket.
Yeah, definitely. I got a great answer to you. That was the topic of your show. Who's the scoring killer going to be on this team? Well, if Cam goes out the door, we don't have a scoring killer, but we have a culture killer. His name is Michael Porter Jr. Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He's definitely going to help you on that side of the things. I don't know what we can do offensively, but he's definitely really willing and dealing on what it means to not be a culture guy. That's for
Well,
sure.
what's the deal with him and this culture thing with a negative culture, a negative baggage? I was listening to Leaf, and Leaf was saying that shout out to Leaf is that he comes with this kind of negative stuff. Is this true?
MPJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some very outlandish views on certain things about women and about certain things in general that just make you go a little like I don't really agree with a lot of what he says, but if he's doing it off season, off the regular season, okay, that's his business, right? None of us can say do anything about it because that's his freedom of speech, that's his right, right? But at the same time, do I have to agree with everything he says? No, especially if we're trying to build something on this team. That's where I draw the line with MPJ. If it starts affecting the young guys' development, starts affecting their growth, then it's a problem. It really is because you're supposed to be the vet on the team, setting an example, and you're popping off on the podcast saying, "Oh, I'm tempted by women." Like, bro, save it for the off season, save it for Christmas, save it for your vacation, not for regular season. That's when it's time to get serious. And yes, this is gonna be a tough ass season. But he's supposed to help set an example. That's where I draw the line with MPJ. But this whole thing about Sean Marks and culture, it's like you trade for one of the guys who don't exemplify what you say is good character culture guys, and you drafted five of these guys who we think could be good culture guys. I think they're all upstanding young guys that could be good parts of our future. But do I know them off screen, off the court fully? No, not yet, because we haven't seen the full information about what they do on their off time. But at the end of the day, Sean Mark's whole thing was we drafted five culture setting guys, but at the end of the day, it's like you need the talent. I'm all fine with good culture guys, Scott, but you need the talent. And you had so many opportunities to get certain prospects that could have fit a balance in what you're trying to build. And instead, you went for all playmakers and guys that are too similar at certain roles. Like that to me is where I'm like, this don't mean anything. You're talking about culture, but you're forgetting about skill. You need skill and culture to be a good team. I just don't think Sean Marks has an understanding of what it means to have a structure. I think he has concepts, ideas, but when it comes time to put it on paper, woof. I mean, MPJ, he's here. Cam Thomas wants out. I mean, Scott, is it you or me, or am I not seeing the culture that Sean Marks is preaching from the top of his lungs about?
It seemed like it's the opposite of what we thought he was going to try to do.
Seriously. And wasn't he the guy that told the previous owner, we're going to do things the right way? He had a sign outside his door, no shortcuts. Fast forward 3 years later, Katie and Kyrie available, and Sean's like, hey, you know what? I'll get these two guys on the team. We're going to win a title.
That shit is crazy.
We're
Everything.
gonna get two guys on this team, and we're gonna win a title. Like Sean Marks sold his culture BS down the river 3 years after taking over the team. Scott,
Yeah. Well, I listen. I would have did the same thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. If Kevin Durant is available, of course I'm gonna take him. Of
Hey, Scott, can you hear
course,
me?
yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Of course I'm gonna take him. Of course I would have took um, um, the all three of them. All three of them. Of course I'd have took all three of them players. I'd have dumped the whole team myself. No,
Any one of us would have, Scott. But at the end of the day, you had to be responsible for making sure the pieces work. And you had three guys with three of the biggest egos in the world of basketball, and you couldn't keep it together. I'll be honest with you. If we had different personnel, could it have worked? Maybe. But you had the wrong personnel. You had Joe Desai. Scott, can you hear me? You had
yeah.
Sean Marks and Joe Desai who just watched it all unfold. Watch Kyrie say we don't need coaches, we don't need anybody, we just need each other, the three guys. Like, and then James Harden said, "Wow, this is freaky and weird. I don't want to be part of this." And you had Kevin Durant who didn't want to step on anybody's toes, but he wanted to play good basketball. It's like if Sean and Joe were going to go all in on this, you should have known what you were doing. And I just don't think they knew what they were doing. Like, it's easy to get the shiny pieces, but it has to work. And Sean and Joe couldn't make it work for more than a year and a half. And even that was like pulling teeth. Like at the end of the day, it's just unfortunate that we've had great pieces and it didn't work. And now we're trying to build something organic and they're still screwing it up. Like this Cam Thomas situation should not have been this bad. But when you don't talk to the guy and you make him feel undervalued and like he's right about what he's saying, like in Cam's mind, maybe it's like, you guys are holding me back. I can be that guy if you're not giving me a freaking opportunity. But it's up to them to get Cam to realize what the vision is. And I'll be honest with you, I think Cam saw Sean is like, dude, you've been in charge of the team for 10 years. You have no vision. You just want to get another superstar here to fill up your freaking pockets. If that's what Cam was feeling, okay, Cam, maybe you're partly right for doing what you did. But if it's any other reason, Cam, you're wrong. But seriously, Scott, like, how can anybody invest in this team if Sean Marks can't even communicate with the talent that's on the team? And they want to get the hell out the door. Like, you're never going to build anything if he's the one at the helm
All
right
right,
now.
this is the question for everybody watching right now, for real, for real. Who on this team is gonna, if Cam walks, who on this team right now that you see on this roster that can replace him or replace his firepower that you need? Because, like I said, you have to have a killer on your team in the NBA. Clearly, you need one.
You know who that is, Scott? It's Keon Johnson. Keon from Neon.
You think it's Keon Johnson for
Oh,
real?
yes. Mr. Hard Worker, Mr. All Day Defender, Mr. Inconsistent Shot Maker. No, I should have said Tyrese Martin, ISIS guy. But no, Scott, it's gonna be tough if Cam walks. Like, and like
Well,
he's getting
maybe
traded.
maybe Keon's game will step up. I don't know,
Nah,
but let's welcome
Ice.
Iceman, the
Oh,
Eskimo.
no.
What's up, Ice? Where can they see
Uh,
you at?
What's up? Y'all can find me on YouTube, the Tip Off of Brooklyn Net podcast and on TikTok, you heard?
Yeah, I heard that. What's up, man? How you been? I
And
just came back from vacation, man.
chilling, man. I just came back from TikTok not too long ago.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. So the question was, and I've been following you,
yeah.
and I've been following John on X. And
Um,
I that's how I get all my information is from my online friends, online
uh,
family.
we're the
yeah.
Let's
sauce
put it that way.
breakers.
Yeah, y'all my family, man. I check y'all
Appreciate
out
it.
every day. But the key is this. Um, giving up Cam, we kind of knew, I kind of knew, and I think everybody else was saying, I was listening also to what Dylan was saying, that the Nets didn't really, they don't value Cam Thomas, which I
Mhm.
see. But we keep saying it's Sean, and you know how John feels. John hates Sean. I tell you,
Yeah.
John better not see Sean in the alley because he might not come out.
It's not
But
hate if you're
anyway,
using context. It's not hate if you're using context.
he probably got you a rate, like a little, scope on you, man. But anyway, anyway, the key, what I'm saying is that they clearly don't value him, but it's not just him. It's not just Sean. It could possibly be Jordy Fernandez.
Well, what I'm gonna say it goes from the top to the bottom. It goes anything that they want to do, they gotta go through Joe side. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
right,
not just Sean. Sean is just the GM who gets blamed for any and everything, right?
right. That comes
But
with the job, right?
right, right, exactly. But
Okay.
it gotta go through. It gotta go through Joe side. If Joe side don't want Cam Thomas move, he's not moving. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
that's a Joe
But
side's guy, like nah, we need to
but
keep
do
him.
you think Jordy has something to say about how he want what he want on the team?
I mean, yes, he do, but you know what I'm saying? Like Jordy can't keep Cam. If Jordy wanted Cam on the team and that's what they're offering, you know what I mean? If he said I want Cam on the team and it's like, okay, this is all we can offer Cam, it is no longer in Jordy's hands, you know what I mean? It's not in Sean Mark's hand either. You know what I'm saying? Like if this is what the company, this is what we got to offer, this is where we want to stay in our budget doing whatever we doing, then this is what we could offer him. Like I said, they offer him something. They ain't offer him nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know it was a team option, but they gave him 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying
that's
to figure out
that's
what he is.
yeah. They 2 years so they could figure out how they could trade him
Yeah.
Possibly.
because that's the team option. That's the purpose of the team option is giving you the
Right.
option to trade him.
Or
To
an
Right.
trade
option to keep him. Right.
or
Right.
yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's
So what
true.
I'm saying, what I'm saying with that is because I try to explain it. With Cam, he has. I'm not saying his possibility is low of not getting the playing time he wants because he's got a 1 year. I mean, they gonna let him start, but they might mess with his time. If he would have stayed the
Right.
2 years, if he would have stayed the 2 years, he would have had a better opportunity to prove himself than just 1 year and trying to go to another team and he still may not. He still might end up with 14 mil. You know what I'm saying? Or 18 at the max. He might get something like that, or 20. You know what I'm saying? He probably won't get 30 because he won't have the opportunity. He probably won't get the full opportunity to display that.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly. It's a tough situation for him because I always said that when he came into the Nets with the super team, it was the win now mentality, all in, and he was the last little piece that they got before they had the big three. That being said, after they left and after all of the debacle that went down, you got to look at it as Cam is still a 1 year or 2 year max in the league, basically a rookie trying to show himself on a team that was tanking.
I,
Clearly,
I wouldn't call him a rookie, Sky. He's been in the league 4 years. At the end of the day, it's
I
up to him.
mean,
We have to just say
the
it's up
second
to him.
year,
It's up to him to be healthy. It's up to him to be healthy and show the growth on playmaking, rebounding, and the other things that people say he's not good at. That's on him to figure out. The other stuff, yes, you can blame the front office for, but he has to take some accountability too. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm still a rookie." No, you've been in the league 4 years, bro. You either have to hold down a spot or you have to lower
all
yourself to
right.
another spot to make your
Now,
value.
if he comes, which they have no incentive whatsoever to let him ball out. They have no incentive to let him ball out now. So he's not going to show for us. He might show a game or two, but he's not going to go all in. The question is how it works for him. He's still in a best up situation.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I thought he should have took. He at least he should
Take the
have tried.
money. Took the
Yeah,
money,
he
right?
should have just took the money. Yeah, but having no trade clause and having the qualifying, you lost money, and you have to. You know what I'm saying? You got to show out. So you lose money, and you have to have a chance to show out. If they don't give you a chance to show out, then you lost money, You're gonna lose more money in the team that you go to. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody believes in you and they, you know what I mean? And somebody want to give you a chance, and you're gonna lose playing time. So it could go negative for him, or they could just, you know what I'm saying, feature him
Right.
for a while, and try to find, you know what I'm saying, let him play to his max best ability, and then trade him and try to get something for him. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what they're gonna trade with a $8 million contract. You know what I mean? Probably for
Six
somebody else,
million.
the 6 million for somebody
Wow.
else who makes 6 million. Like bro, that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
Ice. I told them that some deals you got to look at are like maybe a Dalton.
Yeah, John be in and out.
Yeah, John is out too much. Yeah. Yeah,
Wait, can you
he's
guys hear
back.
me?
Go
No,
I
ahead,
can hear you
John.
now. Yeah.
Ice. I told him like some deals you got to look at are maybe a Dries Walker in a second round pick, a Dalton Kennett second round pick. Like you have to look, be realistic about what his value is. His value is not that good right now. You'll be lucky to get maybe a young player that's also trying to prove themselves and they're not getting the right playing time. It's like probably the best fight you could get back for Cam at this point. You're not getting value in a picks wise. Nobody's getting unprotected picks. Maybe a protected pick at the very worst, but a guy making $6 million and he's a disgruntled asset. That's what people have to realize about Cam Thomas. He's a disgruntled asset, so they're not going to give up huge stuff for Cam Thomas. They'll be lucky to get a young player that wants playing time and maybe a second.
Yeah, but also,
Anything else like that, you're not going to get, unfortunately, given how bad
yeah,
his value is.
yeah, but you also gotta think about the player that the team wants. I don't even know at this point. I don't know who this team wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
I
it's
don't know.
all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know who they want. I'm lost right now. You know, they got MPJ. They bring back Clowney, Claxton, Dayron. You know what I'm saying? Tyrese Martin, Keon. They all going, you know what I'm saying, do they think try out and stay on the team. But then you draft all the guys that are connectors and passers. So, you know what I'm saying? If you lose Cam for scoring, like what else are you know what I'm saying? What else are you looking for?
Yeah,
Because now
who
you
that killer is, right?
yeah, like who are you? What player are you looking for at this point? Like I don't know what player they're looking for because Cam is the only one like that. MPJ is the only one like that. You know what I'm saying? Zaire and Clowney, I wouldn't say they in a similar boat, but you know what I'm saying? They alike, but they not alike. You know what I'm saying?
Eh,
Claxton is the only one like that. Like you know what I'm saying? You got a little bit of everything except for the rookies. They all like passes.
right,
Right.
right. Well, they haven't
It's
showed what they're capable, and they probably won't this year. They
Right.
probably won't. So he's a vet who has a killer mentality, who can score. And from what I remember looking at the NBA, every great team has one of those shooters or one of those players that just can score. Every single one of them, every single good team in the NBA, every single one of them has one of those players that he can get you a bucket.
right,
He's
but Scott, you got to realize the NBA is evolving before our very eyes. They want to move away from just one-dimensional good scorers to guys that are
Are
multi-positional.
they? Are they really? Are they really? I mean, are they really, really?
No. One dimensional. Yes. Um, One dimensional. Yeah, one dimensional probably, but away from scores, no. You know what I mean? They just want them to do more things. But with Cam, Cam would be fine if he had a true number one, right? If you had a true number one, Cam would be fine doing what he does. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be such a big deal because he's on a roster and he's not making anyone else look good. He's making himself look good, but not nobody else look good. That's the problem.
Right, that's the huge thing.
Now,
Why?
now, if he now this year, and I already said, even if he had signed that or took that offer, even if he had took that offer, would he still be in a position where he has to prove himself? Yes.
Yes,
Of
yes,
course, of
Yes,
course.
he'd still be in that position. And if he did, the Nets will have a better. See, to me, it seemed like the Nets were pimping him. You know what pimping is? You know how you
yeah,
pimp.
What?
You know how you put somebody on a track to make money
yeah,
for you. They were
Yeah.
pimping him, and Cam didn't want to be pimped.
Mhm.
Ah,
He wanted to be wanted.
Well, I think he what I think. See, this the thing. People believe that he wasn't wanted because he didn't get time, but a lot of that had to do with coaching, and a lot of that had to do with him not
The,
passing.
the,
It's like a give and take. Like the dude can score, but he's not passing when I need him to pass. You know what I'm saying? So what do I do with him? You know what I'm saying? Like what do I do with him? I know he can get a bucket, but all the time he's getting buckets, I don't always need him to get a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So
because
it's like,
they basically was in lose mode, and with him on the court, you're gonna win some games.
yeah, that too. But he gonna show out. He not gonna move. He not gonna fully move. Like I said, he not gonna make a lot of people look good while he's looking good. Like I always say about Cam IQ. Cam IQ, he needs to realize that he can get a bucket whenever, but these guys can't. You know what I'm saying? I need to help these guys get a bucket and worry about my buckets last, or let me get my buckets now, you know what I'm saying? And let me start, you know what I'm saying, drawing the double team and moving the ball, like using my IQ to do that. So I think the next scene that he doesn't do that, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, and he said when he get in the game, don't nobody want to pass, they want to score. And I think his mentality was all messed up because he was sitting on the bench. You know what I
right.
mean?
I don't.
The,
Like I
the
said, I
the
don't
biggest
think
thing to
it.
take away from that, Scott, is Cam Thomas a connector? If he's not, which we've seen example of him not being that, then how can he play on a team with the young guys and help their value grow? At the end of the day, Cam needs to realize that yes, you're a part of the team, but you got to make your other teammates better. Cam
But
Thomas hasn't always
okay,
done that. That's the
okay. So
problem.
say that's true.
Uh-huh.
I agree with both of y'all.
Right.
What I disagree with is, did Sean go to Cam and speak to him and tell him that?
Um,
No,
Did he at least go to him and say, "Look, I want to keep you because I drafted you. Of course I want to keep you, and of course I want to pay you. But
Kevin
I
Durant
need,
drafted
but
him.
I need
Kevin
this.
Durant
I
drafted
need,
him.
yeah. Even if Kevin Durant did draft him, you on the team, shit.
yeah. Nah, Sean,
I mean,
Sean,
that's killing me with the players drafting players. Listen, yeah, of course a player would say, "Yo, he's good." I'm quite sure Kevin Durant probably said that, but evidently it had to be. That's like trying to do my job. Sean Marks had to make the decision. I'm not going to let Kevin Durant make the decision for me. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. I can't see that. That it was just that Kevin Durant drafted him. Even though I understand what you're saying, a player could say to a GM, and I'm quite sure Kevin Durant could go to Sean Marks and say, "Look, I like Cam Thomas because I know he's a bucket."
yeah.
Which is
You know what I'm
true.
saying? But
He wasn't lying.
they still got, they still, see, to me, he probably had some input, but they probably did the same thing that they did with Ben Saraf. Like, all right, you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
27 pick, we're going to choose this guy, You know what I mean?
yeah. They did that with the picks they got this time, basically. Sean said, "Listen, it's my decision because it's going to be my ass anyway." I mean, I man up. Shit, if I got the job, I'm a man up. I'm not going to let somebody else make a decision for me. That's crazy. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. I think everybody should feel the same way. But, hey, the question is who's going to be the killer on the team because Cam, I personally speaking, Cam is out of here. Cam is
Yeah, he might
gone.
be.
I
He
mean,
might be.
not unless they give him the bag later on, and he chooses to come back.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
that's what I said. He has a chance too because we're gonna have everybody talking about this 10 teams, but we're one of the 10 teams who have cap space. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or you're
yeah.
gonna have cap
Now,
space too. So everybody think he's leaving or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like he could get paid here is a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Not a
Now
big
it's
one, but it's a possibility.
now there's a question of whether Jordy feels it's worthy of having them.
Right. So I don't know. They keep talking about
They keep
they need more
rotating
wings.
players, man. That's not good to keep bringing in players and play and not sticking with somebody with some foundation because clearly, I'm a Cam Thomas fan, but regardless of that, as a basketball fan, I know he would come up even if he don't start. I would have him on my bench. You need one of them players on your bench.
Right, but he doesn't want to be on the bench, and that's
Well, then
why I
he
think
has to earn the starting spot. You can't just be
right.
given it.
But that's why I was thinking he needed to sign a 2 years, so here he will have a guaranteed starting spot, and you know what I'm saying. If he don't do well in the first year, he got part of the second year to you know what I'm saying, kind of prove himself in a 2 year deal and try to get a bigger contract then. Because right now, if he doesn't prove himself this year, he's not going to get a bigger contract if he gets
Yeah.
signed or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that shit is fucking, it's retarded, man. To be honest with you, it's disappointing because a lot of players, a lot of fans love Cam Thomas, especially net fans. We all love Cam Thomas. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, we wish him to be the best at what he do. I've seen improvements. I know everybody else seen improvements. I mean, he had better. His assists went up last year compared to the year before.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's not trying. I don't think he's not trying. He's definitely pulling a double team.
Definitely,
So I
definitely.
mean, what you want him to
Sure.
do? Make everybody else better too, or it's
Yeah,
just that you in a situation where a team is looking at draft picks to draft talent, which I get it. That's up to Sean to make that happen. He has to make moves where he get first round picks for other players. But you're not making no moves. You just absorbing contracts, clearing up space for who? Giannis?
right.
It
I
ain't
don't
that
know.
many damn players out there, superstars out there for you to get.
No, there ain't.
And the perception of the team is not good for to as far as players are concerned. With you there, I mean, if I
Yeah,
was an NBA player and I'm a superstar, and you ask me, do I want to play at the Lakers or the Nets? What you think I'm gonna say?
Lakers. Well,
So the Lakers, even if
hell
they
yeah,
suck, even if they
yeah,
suck, because I'm gonna play on national TV all the time.
yeah, hell yeah. And you know, you know what I'm saying. That team is guaranteed to build some type of roster. You know what I mean?
Right, right. They're gonna attract talent and they're gonna try to seize it.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Cam in a tough spot because of what I said when I was live is that two teams offered Kaminga something, but nobody reached out to Cam. You know what I mean? For
Right,
nothing. So I
right.
don't know if teams are interested when after this season or during this season. Um, some teams might be interested, you know what I'm saying, towards the playoffs or something, you know what I'm saying? All Star break, somebody might want to trade for him, maybe, possibility, like you said, for somebody 6 man where he don't want to be at. But I think, see, that's the thing. I think that's going to be a mistake for him because if he goes and be a 6 man, I think sometimes he might just get stuck as a 6 man. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's a
saying? Once he gets
yeah,
into that
yeah,
role,
yeah. That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He'll get stuck in that role. Oh, but he'll get his money, but basically the same money that be offered to him, regardless.
yeah, right,
He's still
right.
not going to
Yeah,
get that 30 million. Not in this
right.
league. Not now.
Yeah,
If
that's
he
what I
was like
said. He got
5 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, he would have got that bag.
yeah, yeah. Even last year, he probably could have got that back.
Right. Yeah, the year before. Yeah, yeah. Go to show you that luck has a lot to do with it and your place in time,
Right.
you know, where you coming into the league. Because Cam really came into a bad situation, or a team at that time when he came, well, like John said, he wasn't a rookie, but I think he was basically because the first year he didn't really play. He
Right.
didn't play that much.
No, he didn't. I forgot how many games it was. No, he didn't get a lot of time.
No, he didn't get a
I
lot
think
of
it's
time.
16 minutes.
Yeah.
16 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
something like that.
no, he
It
didn't get
wasn't
no
that
time. He didn't get no time. The second year, Jock Vaughn didn't really want to. Need I say any more? It was Jock
right.
Vaughn, the
Right.
Jock
Josh
Vaughn
Vaughn
show.
had.
You know he's a rookie, so you had to let him learn to see the difference. So you had to play him, and you didn't play him. So,
Yeah.
and then when you did play him, he scored. You pull him out.
Right.
Kind of shit is that? Oh,
I
because he
don't
ain't
know,
playing.
man. Jock Vaughn had, I don't know, he had his ideas of what he wanted. But I think at that time with Jock Vaughn, like the video, I don't know if you've seen the video Breezy played with Jeff T talking about someone told him that a veteran said when you get in the game, anybody that basically the guys that's making money and trying to get a contract, you pass the ball to. You don't get in the game and just start scoring. You know what I'm saying? You wait till you get your big contract and then you start then you can forget about passing them the ball. But while they ain't making money and they up to, you know what I'm saying, and contracts coming up and stuff like that, you pass them the ball and you worry about scoring last, you know what I'm saying? And that's he
Yeah.
said, Jeff Teaser said that's how I learned, you know what I'm saying, what to do. I would pass Joe Johnson and then I would pass I forget the other dude that used to dunk all the time, light skinned dude kind of, and Josh, I can't remember his last name. He had bounced though.
Oh
But he
yeah,
said
yeah.
that
I know
was
you, Josh
yeah,
Johnson, right? Was it Josh
something like
Johnson?
that.
Yeah, the
Something like
light
that. That
skinned
was on.
forward,
Yeah,
the forward guy.
yeah,
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 I know you
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
He said I will pass him. Then I started passing him the ball because he started complaining. He said, "You know what? After that, I started dishing the ball everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't
Right.
even worried about scoring. Then that got me paid, and once I got paid, then you know what I'm saying. He said I thought I was better than them anyways, and that's how Cam feels. But he not giving, you know what I'm saying, to the guys that was making money at him. He wasn't passing the ball like, you know what I'm saying. He's trying to score and show himself out. So that's why I say I think Cam got caught up in that and trying to score and not realizing he doing damage to himself by doing that. You know what I mean?
But I think what happened was when KD and Kyrie and left the team, he felt he was the better scorer than everybody on the team,
Yeah, he
which he
was.
probably was.
Right,
And these guys came from the G League, and I got drafted
right,
in the first round. So I thought that if I was drafted in the first round, let me show you what I'm capable of doing.
right.
You
Right.
understand?
That's another way to look at it. But I was saying too, because I told Leaf that, and I went back and looked at the roster. It wasn't. He was the better scorer, but guys were still getting paid. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
was ahead of. You know what I mean? And I
yeah.
think trying to figure that out, being him being young and no one telling him that. I think that's why I said that's why I think that's why he ended up with the 6 man stigma on his name. You know what I mean? Because he
Right.
get in and drop buckets. They say can't. Leaf say he took 29 shots to score 40. You know what I mean in one of those games. That's a lot of bro. That's a lot of shots, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh no, don't get me wrong. He was getting it in. He was getting it in. He was not shy whatsoever. Let's just put it
Yeah,
that way. I'm not saying that he wasn't. It just
yeah,
so happened that he was getting better and better. I thought he was
right.
getting better and better as the years went on. The first 3 years, each year he got a little better. But
Yeah,
let's see what happens this year because he's gonna have to pass the ball because Jordy's not gonna put him in. See,
right.
so Jordy,
Yeah,
It's going to be Jock Vaughn 2.0.
Yeah,
So,
make or break Cam. You know what I'm saying? You want to swing the ball, you want to take unnecessary shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't you trying to get a contract? So you know what I'm saying? You gotta play to your best ability, and everything ain't scoring. Me and JP in the chat, me and him said Cam need to average before like 20 and 5. 20 points, 5 assists, 6 assists, something like that, and he would look better. You know what I'm saying? Not scoring 28 and averaging 3 assists. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
right. Right. If he improve his assists, if he improve his defense a little bit, if he just average 20 instead of trying to score 25 and 30 and show a consistency and shoot from the field at 40% and better,
yeah,
then you gonna have to give him the bag. if
yeah,
you and if you're not, the Nets gonna lose out on him because he's gonna go
yeah,
somewhere else.
yep,
So another team's gonna pick him up for sure.
yeah. You know what
So
I mean?
that's the situation we got with Cam Thomas. And as far as a killer on this team, we ain't got one. I don't see nobody else. I mean, MPJ is good. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how the rookies are going to work. Like you said, I just don't know the direction of the team yet. Maybe Sean sees something that we don't.
Yeah,
But they clearly not going to. I mean, if everybody's talking about this draft, there ain't no way in the world we be thinking about winning. So, I mean, we're in
yeah,
purgatory. They call this purgatory when you just a consistent loser.
yeah. I
Even
don't know the
when,
players. I don't know what players they want to go for. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the style of players they want to go for anymore. You know what I mean? If they want to move away from a pure bucket and say because you got Terrence Mann, you got MPJ, you got Cam, and you got Ben Saroff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all different. You know what I'm saying? All those dudes are different. Like, what type of player are you? You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? On a team that's going to be passing, Cam can stay on the team that's going to be passing. You know what
right,
I mean?
right, because they don't. I mean, they ain't neither one of them could shoot better than Cam. Not right
Right.
now. Not right
Nah,
now.
Cam, MPJ, and Terrence Mann is probably the better shooters on the team right now. Other than
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else is probably behind them.
Do you think this team can actually win 30 games?
No, no, I don't think they can win 30. I still got them over what, like the same thing I had last time, like 22 games. You know what I'm saying? Give or take, it all depends on what they do and who's left. I gotta see who's really on the roster at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I don't know who's on there yet. We got like 22 or 23 guys on this roster, and we got to cut down to 21, and then we got to cut down to
To
18.
18, right.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. I don't know what they gonna do. Oh, I forgot they got Highsmith on here for 1 year.
Yeah.
Net Press Dylan said he's been. They might trade him before the season starts, but we'll see. You know what I mean?
For what? For what
I
they
don't
going to get
know.
for him? A second round pick? How many damn second round picks are we going to have? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Jokic came out of the second round, though. I can't argue that.
Right.
So yeah, you can get a second round. You can get a good pick, but that's like hitting the
Yeah.
lottery.
Yeah. I ain't seen no news on it yet, but we got a lot of guys, man. But if they keep those vets, then they might win more than 22 games, possibly.
Right, right. So I don't know, man. I just don't know about this situation. It's kind of tough. I've My boy Cam Thomas is gone, man.
You know,
he
he
going.
might be.
He's leaving. He's gonna leave. I don't think the Nets gonna sign him. So I mean, after this season, I don't know. And I still
Yeah,
have this lingering feeling that it wasn't just Sean. It was also Jordy. So
yeah. Jordy has some type of say, but I don't know who's saying what. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, clearly Sean's saying that about the money.
Right.
I think Jordy is saying he doesn't fit.
Hmm.
Maybe. I
Maybe.
mean, that's a possibility. They're not going to
Yep.
say, of course, but
Right. Right. Because they're gonna say he's gonna say it's sad to lose Cam Thomas. You know what I mean? By
of
score.
course, of
You know what I mean?
course.
Stuff like that. And Sean gonna say, of course we wanted Cam back. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
situations change, and we got a good value for him, so that's why we had to. You know what I'm saying? Move on. You know what I'm saying? You want to see a player do good somewhere else. You already know how how
Yeah,
he
you
go.
already know what the press is. They already
Yeah,
know. They already know what they're gonna say
yeah,
because he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. If
yeah,
he's taking the qualified offer and the no trade clause, once the season start, they can't trade him.
yeah. Once the season starts, yeah, nah, and he gotta say where. He gotta say yes. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to any bottom teams. You know what I'm
Nah, he
saying?
ain't. Nah, no
He
bottom
probably end
team.
up with a mid team or a playoff team or something like that if he gets traded.
Yeah, a playoff team. And if they a playoff team, you're gonna be on the bench.
Yeah, and that's what's going to suck because, like I said, I don't like that situation because he may not get out of it. You know what I'm saying? He just might be
Right.
stuck in that. Yeah, we're gonna keep you at like 16 mil, 4 years. You know what I'm saying? 5 years, whatever they sign you to. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yep.
you're gonna have to wait that long contract out to see if you can get that. See, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to be in that position that he's in.
So he might get his bag really technically 3 or 4 years from now. It's
Yeah,
possible. So he got to wait
yeah,
another 3 years for that 20 mil bag.
yeah.
15. He'd be stuck
E-
at the 15, which he turned down here.
Exactly. He might end up back in the same situation.
I
He might
think what
end
it
up
was is that he just don't want to get traded anywhere.
right.
If
He
you're going to
don't.
trade me, if you don't see a value in me and you trade me to a team that's not a playoff team, I'd be back in the same situation I just came out of.
Yeah. Facts.
So
Facts.
he's saying that's not what I want. He probably saying I just want to be show my skills to the world. I'm quite
Yes.
sure. I'm quite sure that's what he wants.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he has the best opportunity to do it here. It's just the money is the money ain't right for him. And still, you know what I'm saying? Even signing a qualifying offer. I mean, they said 10 teams next year, but still, he's almost guaranteed starter minutes here. You know what I'm saying? To showcase. I mean, everywhere else, I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy.
It is crazy work.
I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to the season. Do you watch football?
I watched that my team Dallas yesterday, but I don't. Yeah, I watch football, but I'm not. What's the word? I can't talk about football like I do basketball.
Of
You know what I
course,
mean?
of course.
Yeah, yeah.
I just been paying attention because it's the beginning of the season. As the season go on, I gravitate to basketball.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
That's how that go. But I like the beginning of the NFL. It's everybody
Yeah.
want to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Everybody's got aspirations of winning. Oh
Right.
man! But as the season go, you be like, y'all suck, and it's done. And see, in basketball, you can start off bad and end really good.
Right.
So and plus it's a long season and a lot of games.
Yep. 80 game, 82, 83, whatever it is. It's
Yeah,
long.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking about doing, and I don't know if people would agree with me or not, doing the what they call it, what they do in football. They with the players create
Oh, the fantasy.
a fantasy, a basketball fantasy thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
What you think? You think that's
Yeah,
hot
that
or
might.
what?
Yeah, that's hot because I do it with I do fantasy football with my cousins and a couple people I grew up with, some friends. You know what I
Right.
mean? I
But do
do
they?
fantasy
I mean,
football.
I haven't heard anybody talk about fantasy basketball.
I'm not sure if somebody talked about it on Breezy's podcast or not, but yeah, I haven't. I have not done fantasy basketball at all.
Wow, it's not as popular as football.
Nah,
That's for
nah,
sure.
nah.
Yeah, but so I mean, the question is, and I always come back to the same question, Iceman,
Uh-huh.
is who on this team's gonna step up? Because clear, well, you know what? I'm looking at this team. When I look at
Uh-huh.
this team, I see 30 wins, but
You see,
I could I see 30 wins.
mhm.
I think they got a good team.
Okay, you know what I mean?
Honestly, I think the Brooklyn Nets got a better team than what people think they got. And I
Well,
think
Jeff.
that some of the players that we saw last year are going to
Mhm.
improve.
Okay, so I can see that happening. Jeff T said on his podcast that the Nets was a sleeper team. You know
Right.
what I mean?
I
I
really
said
believe that. I really do.
I gotta see. I gotta see who's left on the roster, who's gonna be left off the roster, who's gonna make the team, and then I can make a better. You know what I'm saying? Judgment.
I don't think Ben Sharaf going to make the team.
He gonna
You think he going to make the team?
if he's drafted, doesn't he stay on the team? If he in the first round, he stays on. Most likely stay on the team.
Oh, I
He might go
mean,
to the G.
not so. You think you do you think
Oh,
he'd be on that bench?
oh no. He going to the G League. He going
Oh,
to the G League. I think three. I think three of those guys going to the G. Benzeroff, Danny Wolf, and Drake Powell going to the G League.
okay,
Nolan Trayon, and I think Nolan going to stay in the NBA, and Diego is definitely staying in the NBA. You know
right.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. Trey York could end up in the G League too. Four of them could end up in the G, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I think I,
Well, we didn't
I
really
think
have a point guard, so
right. You know what I'm saying? So them two are the only two point guards type of point guards,
right.
and Ben is too. But I think Ben going to the G. I don't think Ben is staying up top, but I could be wrong. We'll see. You know what
We'll
I'm
see.
saying? Ben can show off.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. I think Igor gonna work out.
Yes. I see a lot of people thinking he is going to pan out good. You know what I'm saying? I posted a video with him training, you know what I'm saying, working
Yeah,
on
and I
his
saw
hands.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that video. That's on X, right?
Yeah, that was
What's your
yeah, I
X
posted
handle? What's your X handle?
Iceman the Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Iceman the Dawn.
Yeah, you did put it on X, and I saw it. He was doing his little ball skills.
Yeah, man. He working. Most of them working right now. I even sent Breezy one with Ben Sarab and he was doing like I don't even know what it's called, but it's like it looked like all these colors light up, like Simon says, and he got to tap color lights up. You know what I'm saying? To get the
Yeah,
coordination. Yeah, it looks like that. So he was doing some hand coordination stuff. You know what I'm saying? Working on that. So I'm like, okay, like these dudes is working this summer. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even playing around. They
they
getting
better
to it.
not. They better. They better be ready. You only make a first impression once in the NBA. Yo, listen, the draft will be back before you know it, and somebody gonna be fighting for your spot.
Yeah, 1 year. That's all you got. 1 year.
You got 1 year to get that shit right. Get
Yeah,
it.
you know what I mean?
You better act like something.
And all these dudes on our team fighting for their NBA life or they fighting for another contract soon. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's right.
So
Every year somebody's
competition,
fighting for a contract. Yep.
yeah, competition is stiff out here.
Shit, you who you kidding? Staying in the NBA is tough. You can get
It
if
is,
just
bro.
getting to the NBA is tough.
Yeah,
Then
I seen a lot
staying
of
in.
Yeah, staying is tough. I seen a lot of dudes that I thought could have stayed in the NBA. They going overseas, bro. I'm like, damn.
That's the new market, though. A lot of people
Yeah,
don't know that. Overseas is the new market for the NBA,
yeah,
for NBA players. I'm talking about prospects in America. I'm talking
yep,
about American players. A lot of them are deciding to just say, you know what, I'm going overseas. The bag is there for them, and they taking it, and I don't blame them.
yeah. I don't blame them either,
It's
because the
only
bag is over there.
yeah, it's only 400 and somewhat spots in the NBA.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's tough to be one of what 400 or 450, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
that number is like 440, 448, I think, to be
Yeah, like
exact. Something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, that's tough, bro. You gotta be working hard. You gotta deal with politics. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you gotta do a lot of things to stay, and a lot of people don't stay. What they say, only 100 comes in every year. 100 players come in every year,
Right.
or
Yeah.
something like that, out of the draft. And you know what I'm saying? Half of them, more than half of them, don't even make it.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? The few that do make it, you pushing somebody else out.
Shit is crazy. Oh my
Yeah,
God. I go on vacation, come back, and Cam Thomas taking qualified offers. I'm saying this shit is crazy.
yeah,
I,
man.
maybe I should go back out of town and come back, and so the shit will change again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit.
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
I
nah,
had
man.
just did a video, and I don't know if anybody watched it, on Cam Thomas and the Nets negotiating. They were talking, from what everybody was saying. They said the conversations were good. And
No,
then all of a sudden,
I didn't see that video that you did.
yeah, I did a video talking about Cam um, and the Nets were in negotiations, and they was making some leeway. You know, it was actually CBS Sports that put that out there. I think that's who put that
Oh,
out
okay.
there. But
CBS. Yeah.
these all of us is crazy. All of us are crazy basketball fans, and we have
Yeah.
our own opinion, but which is cool. Which is cool.
Yeah. We do. We all see the game different. We all see things different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what makes it cool, though. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's understandable. And I thought
Right.
Cam was going to sign. I thought he was going to take the 15 million, especially when he
Yeah.
changed agent.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Because I
did
thought,
too.
yeah, because when he changed his agent in the middle of the conversation in the
Hmm.
contract negotiation, I'm saying to myself, he probably felt he wasn't being represented right.
Yep. I still don't think he'd be in representative, right?
I
Because I
still
would have
don't
too.
think so neither, because I am not turning down $14 million. I
Yeah.
don't care what you say, especially after being paid $2 and $3 million a year, which is a
Right.
lot to me. I ain't turning
You,
that down. But
you see. Right.
what I'm saying is, to get 5 times as much is, you don't turn that down.
Yeah, you see, Jeff T mentioned something about that too. I be telling these guys don't be turning down that money because you be thinking you worth more than something that you are. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, Cam to him is a six man, and that's what they going for. And they pointed out on Breezy podcast yesterday that Alex Caruso is six man and he made 16 mil, so only
Right,
two more less than Cam. You know what I mean? And they was
right.
like, now, Joey was like, now that I know that, like 14 mil is fine for Cam. Like, that's a good deal. You know what I'm saying? 22 years, 28 mil for Cam. And like
Yeah,
I said, it's more about the opportunity for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? A 1 year, eight, and a no trade clause versus 2 years. And I got an opportunity to really showcase and make this 14 mil and get myself out of this six man stigma is the thing. I don't think he might have a small chance to do that this year, but it's small. It's a slim chance. If he had 2 years here, where you know what I'm saying? I'm here for 2 years. Let me put in this work. You know what I'm saying? And I think they won't do him wrong as far as you know what I'm saying, time and stuff like that. Having a signed contract instead of the qualifying offer. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. That's I mean, I can't understand Cam Thomas neither. He kind of messed up that flow there because he could have. I understand he didn't want the team option, but
Yeah,
and I mean I can understand that part. That's why he probably didn't want.
yeah. He didn't want the team option. I didn't want the team option for him either because that means they could trade him in whatever, wherever. But
Right.
at the same time, if you take less money and no trade clause, and then they mess with your time or you're not getting enough time to showcase, then you end up in another bad situation. You know what I mean? Like another bad situation.
Yeah. At least with the team option, you thinking if I ball out, they gonna pimp me. You know what I'm saying? To the
Yeah.
highest bidder, and then
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
you know I'm
Right.
gonna probably be on a team that really needs me.
Right. Right.
That's what it
Exactly.
is because they're not gonna give up nothing, and you probably balled out, and they probably saying, "Well, I can give up a number one for him. He's definitely starting." You know what
Right.
I'm saying? He
Yep.
got a role, or he got a major role on his team. So at least you be
Yep.
playing. You know, you got to play. As a player, you got to get on the court. You know.
Yeah. Definitely. That's the most important. That's the most important thing is that
I,
he gotta get playing time.
oh well. Yeah, I don't see nobody else, but on this team that could do what he do. But maybe MPJ. But I don't know.
Yeah, and PJ is your guy now. You know what I'm saying? First
Uh,
time All Star for the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? Michael Porter Jr. on deck.
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Cause ain't nobody gonna get the ball with him on the court. Cause he gonna shoot every goddamn time.
Um, I don't know. I think Jordan's gonna have him switch up his game a little bit. His shooting gonna be fine, but I think he's gonna be asked to facilitate too. At times, I think sort of like Cam Johnson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of
Okay.
like Cam. They're different, but he might have to move the ball a little bit. I don't think he's as good as passer as Cam, but he might still be asked to move the ball. I don't think he only going to catch and shoot because you know what I'm saying. They're gonna need him to do that, but he gonna have to do something else too. I know he rebounds well, but I think he gonna still have to move the ball.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well, I'm gonna end the show, Ice Man. Where they can reach you at, Ice?
Yo, y'all can find me at Tip Off of Brooklyn Nets podcast on YouTube, on TikTok as well. You heard?
Yeah, you know what? I gotta admit to you, Ice Man. I can't get on TikTok. I just
Oh
haven't
yeah,
been. I just haven't been able to. Maybe it's just I got so many apps on my phone and all this stuff.
yeah, yeah,
I'm sitting there going, damn, I forget Iceman's on TikTok. Because you're like the
yeah.
only person I know that's on there
Yeah.
that I'm gonna
So
check it
what?
out though. I'm gonna check it
So
out.
what happened with that was when I was starting on YouTube, and then I was on Instagram. I used to do my music on Instagram. I started a new page on Instagram, and then I went to TikTok. But on TikTok, like my content started to go up quicker on
Right,
TikTok. So that's why I stayed over there. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? When Breezy finally got to like 1,000 subscribers, I was already past Breezy and I was behind him. You know what I'm saying? So on TikTok, my stuff was taking off. So I tend to
right.
go over there and TikTok pushes my content. The more I go live on TikTok, the more they push my content. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'll be over
I'm gonna have to try TikTok. I don't know,
there.
but I'm gonna definitely check out your page though. I signed
All
up
right.
for it though. I did.
All right.
All right, Iceman. Good talking to you, man. I'm glad to be
Yeah, bro.
back. I'm gonna be doing some more content, everybody. So
All
check me
right.
out. I was on vacation, but I'm back. The season is gonna start soon, which I can't wait. It's just getting exciting right now. I just can't wait for the season to start. So peace and love, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for checking me out. Later. Peace.
Yeah.